Well, extreme heat can turn deadly and fast. Heat stroke can come on very quickly and unexpectedly. If you or your family like outdoor activities, well, you need to take extra precautions in this heat, and we have some news that works for you this morning. This actually ties to a very big story that a lot of people are talking about right now. 3 tourists, including 1 American, died, and 2 others are currently missing in Greece. It's believed they were hiking during an extreme heat wave, and that possibly led to their deaths. So what are the warning signs of heat stroke? According to the Mayo Clinic, symptoms can include body temperature of 104 degrees or higher, confusion, alteration in sweating, nausea or vomiting, flushed skin, rapid breathing, racing heart rate, and headaches. So there are a lot of things to consider here, and thankfully there are ways that you can still enjoy the outdoors during the summer and protect yourself and your family from heat stroke. So here to help us pack for a summer hiking trip is certified hiking guide and the owner of Hike-ALOT, Mr. Ray McKee. Ray, thank you so much for being here this morning. We were just talking during the commercial break. I was asking you, so this must be a busy season for you, and I was surprised to hear that the summer months kind of dips.
Absolutely. We slow stuff down because, quite honestly, we can't make people drink enough water to actually stay hydrated and keep them safe on the trail. Hiking doesn't have to go away when the temperatures go up, but we do have to be moderated, and we have to do it in a somewhat logical fashion. Like, we have to be careful. There are things that we need to do to mitigate that. Right out the gate, one of the things we want to focus on is getting acclimated to it. You know, we don't want to jump from the comfort of our air-conditioned homes to a 15-mile day hike that's in the heat of the day.
Well, and you also point out that where you hike during the summertime and being intentional about the locations you pick. So kind of give us that fundamental, that's probably the first step. Where are we going to hike? How much time we're going to spend? So how do we determine that?
Absolutely. So right out of the gate, I focus on areas that are going to give me as much shade as possible so that I can sort of mitigate the direct contact from the sun on me. So I'm wearing, you know, things like this. It's kind of a moisture wicking, comfortable layer that's going to provide me a barrier. That shade is going to give me an extra layer of buffer too. And then I'm also looking for areas that are going to keep me in close proximity to water, because that's going to be one of the easier ways to cool down if I do get into those upper extremes of the heat.
So you talked about picking your clothing wisely. Absolutely. You brought so many great things here.
Goodies.
So what else do we need to pack? Now that we've figured out shade, water, what to wear, what do we need to pack?
Absolutely. So one of the things I come right off the top of it is, you guys can see me, I don't have hair. I'm follically challenged. I'm always going to be out with a wide-brimmed hat.
This is a snazzy hat too. I'm just going to pick it up here.
Absolutely. Keeps me nice and cool. And,
there we go.
Covers up where I don't have hair. I'm always out. I use some kind of a buff that I can go through that, you know, I can just wet this, wear it around my neck, kind of around the carotid arteries, and that helps keep me cool. That goes a long way in addition to that. And then outside of that, like I said, it's just keeping a lot of coverage.
Okay. Now, if someone notices that someone begins to struggle, we went over in the beginning some of the signs to look for. If you notice something's off, someone's beginning to struggle, what is the first thing you need to do?
First thing I do is remove them from the extremities, whatever it's causing it. I need to get them over into shade. I need to get you know, them cool down, whether it's dousing them with some water to help bring them down. Hyperthermic conditions are, you know, kind of the exact opposite of the hypothermia. I want to cool them down as quickly as possible because we're trying to maintain that body temp and get it down on the lower levels, and we need to get fluids in them. Most of us walk around dehydrated, so we need to have a way to kind of rehydrate ourselves. We are, you know, we can only absorb so much water in a given hour, and most of us are already kind of dehydrated, so we want to start 2 to 3 days in advance of getting additional water into us before we have that planned outing, and then we need to plan for being able to continuously sort of replenish that, whether it is, you know, taking a lot of water with us if it's a prolonged hike out in an area where we don't have additional water, or to be able to refill what we do have. So I kind of gravitate toward like filters and purifiers for bringing that in.
We have to kind of wrap up, and I want to just touch on one thing very quickly. Sometimes a hike can take you to a remote area. If you don't have cell service, what else do you need to have to make sure you can communicate? Hands down, one of the easiest things. The new iPhones have the ability to page up through a satellite. It's nice if you have a 14 or higher. Outside of that, things like this.
like a small emergency personal locator beacon is something that we can go through, and it gives you that comfort level of, I can turn it over, I can push the one button on the outside of it, and I know help is coming.
Very important. Oh my gosh, Ray McKee, this has been such great information, good reminders. Thank you for coming in.
You're most welcome.
And thank
Thanks
you for helping us stay safe.
The hat looks much better on you than it
I
does
like
me.
this hat. I think I might want to keep it. No, I'm just kidding. Dominique, over to you.
Banton, it is a keeper. And